Today we are going to discuss a very important session. The session is about the ACCM scholarship matrix. ACCM in full refers to African Center for Career Mentorship. So it does coaching, it supports fellows discover their potential. But one of the services that African Center for Career Mentorship does very oftenly is coaching professionals for international scholarships. So over time, we have learned that professionals get to us at different levels in terms of preparation for these applications. But we also learned that professionals get to us when they have a very clear plan that they want to apply here, I want to apply here. Now, what they have not been doing is that knowing what to prepare for and what they need to have beforehand. So we got a very famous quote from Nelson Mandela, which says that if he's given 100 years to cut a tree, it will take the 99 years sharpening the axe, and then he will use the remaining 1 year to cut the tree down. So that is the main motivation and the main inspiration for this African Center for Career Mentorship scholarship matrix. This matrix, the main aim is that to help you prepare, to help you organize yourself. We strongly believe that for you to be successful in your application, step number one is to be organized. You need to be very organized. And I'm going to show you how this tool helps you to be very organized. I'm going to just show it how it is, and I'm going to show you one of the fellows used it. So what happens with this tool is that once you come to us for the coaching services, we have around 3 foundational services that you first of all take on. The first one is personal discovery. And then the second one is a CV alignment. And then the third one is this one here. That is if at all you have done the personal discovery and you have discovered that actually applying for the scholarship is something that you are supposed to do or that you are passionate about. Because from our experience, after people do personal discovery, we have had 7 of them stop the hunt for scholarships, and they go to do other things, including starting up businesses and opening their own NGOs and implementing and implementing whatever they have just put in their personal discovery using the 4W framework. Now, the scholarship matrix, this is what it has. The first column, it asks you for the course that you are going to pursue. Which course do you want to go and do? So you will put, I want to go and do masters in information technology. I want to go and do masters in computer science. Which university are you targeting? Quite often, many people come to us with some universities in their mind, but some of them just come when they don't know which university to target. So we challenge them to go and research and see, okay, if you want to do computer science, which universities offer computer science? And at this stage, we want to highly recommend that there are various university ranking platforms that you can go to get this information. For example, we have the Shanghai ranking, we have the Times Higher Education ranking, we have the QR universities ranking. If you just type those words right now or after this session, you'll be able to find those platforms and you'll be able to see which universities teach which course and how do they rank. The third column, which is very critical, which we normally make our candidates feel, is the world rank of that university. And after that, we also ask them to look at the country ranking of that university. Why is that important? Because life after the master's, life after the PhD, partly depends on where you went to do it from. Because some employers have preferences. Some employers may think, and actually think, that some universities ground fellows or participants or students better than other universities. So if you're applying for the job at, say, African Union with other people who are from different universities, if you are from country X and university Y, maybe you may be given an opportunity, even when you have a low CGPA, even when you have a lower grade, but they may think that you have got other skills which are important in that particular job you're going to do. So the world ranking is very critical for us. And at that time, at that stage, we discussed with the participants whether they are still going for it or they think they can think otherwise. We show them the other side of the coin. We also put the start date of that particular course. And very interesting is for them to list down all the requirements for this course. The requirements are very critical for you to see how well you match with those requirements. Now, why is that important? Because if you know that you want this, they want this, they want this. But for me, I don't have this, I don't have this, I don't have the other. The second question we ask the fellows is, but what can you easily get? Or what can you fix? For example, each like language, English language, we have our partner who is called Madame Lois Nachibuka. So we recommend them to join Lois for support in the English language for them to fix that. If they don't have a passport, we tell them to go to Ministry of Internal Affairs and fix that. If they don't have certified documents, we tell them where they trained from to go and certify and sort that. If they don't have a profile passport size photograph, we tell them to go to the studio and take one with a white background, and they sort that. All of those steps are very important for us to, before we begin on the scholarship application. So after knowing what is required, we also, the next thing is, what do they have so far? That column is very important to us because we help the learners to see, okay, they want this, but this is what you have. If they want you to pay an application fee of this, can you now go and begin mobilizing that money from your relatives and your parents? And you can see this candidate here was able to pay, was comfortable paying that money. And then the last one is that what scholarships are actually available there. Now, I want to emphasize that one there. At African Center for Career Mentorship, we are very clear and we are very intentional because we have tested the tools of Digest for Me application. Because myself who is speaking, I'm a beneficiary for Digest for Me application by Dr. Danny Musinguzi. So we are very clear. The first step for you to search for scholarships is, please, you go to Digest for Me app, search for scholarships there, and fill in this template. You are free to look for all other scholarships elsewhere, but the entry point we tell our mentees or our fellows is to go to Digest for Me app and get those scholarships there. Why do we tell them to go to Digest for Me app? I've said that I'm a success story after using it myself. Number two, last year alone we have 15 successes. In other words, 10 master's degrees and 5 PhDs, and 9 of them use Digest for Me app. And none of them have ever come to us that they have been scammed or they have been they have been disturbed after going to the Digest for Me app for them to access those services there. So we know that the information that is there, Dr. Danny Musinguzi takes time to sieve it, to filter it, to think through it before that information is uploaded in that application. So we recommend our fellows to go there, get the scholarships which are available in that university or for that particular course, and put it there. I want to tell you something that we do at African Center for Career Mentorship. If you don't have the scholarships that you have identified for this course, we don't encourage you to, we don't allow you to apply for it. Why? Last year alone, we had 139% admissions. Why do we even exceed 100? Because some of my mentees had more than 2 admissions. So we had 139% admissions last year in our coaching. I mean, from August last year up to June this year. Almost everyone got admitted. The problem was funding, where we stood at 82.7%. And we know where the problem was. Some people didn't perform well at interview level. So we are very seriously grounding that and preparing our fellows this time around on how they can perform well at interview level. We are working with Digest for Me app every Sundays to those sessions on how to introduce yourself using the VIC technique, those sessions on how do you use this technique to address this. Supposing they say talk about your weaknesses, how do you respond? All of those sessions are aimed at addressing the problem we saw last year, that somebody can progress at the level of interviews and they lose it there. Including a very recent scenario which happened last week. One of my mentees lost a Fulbright scholarship. When he lost and he came back, I requested him that he be strong, although you have got a rejection, be strong, ask them for the reason why you didn't get it. We were very lucky that Ugandan office responded to him immediately and told him the area he didn't do well. And the area was, he did not defend the proposed course of study. So we have a very big analogy with Dr. Dan. We ask that what is the big why? If you come to us and say, I want to do a PhD, one of the screening questions we are now having, Dr. Dan, is that, why do you want to do a master's? Why do you want to do a PhD? If you say, I want to do a master's in computer science, why do you want to do a master's in computer science? If we see that you don't know, but you are willing to learn, that's fine. If we see that you don't know and you are not ready to learn, we put you on the waiting list. Actually, in that way, I now have around 11 people who told me, let me go and think about it. And they haven't yet come back. And I'm still waiting for them. Yeah. So understanding why you want to do a master's or a program is very important, but I shall discuss that another time. I am talking about scholarships here. If you don't show us the scholarship that's going to fund a master's in computer science or master's in business studies or a master's in linguistics, we don't allow you to take time applying for it. Why? The problem is not admission. Even if you want admission from Harvard University next week and you applied now, you will get it. Even if you wanted an admission from Cambridge by next month and you apply now, you will get it. The problem is funding. So until you show us that the funding is going to come from here and how well you match the requirements for funding, we don't allow you to progress. Actually, what you see as scholarships there, even the requirements for that scholarship, we include them under the requirements here. we include whatever the scholarship is asking for, we also include among the requirements here. And then we are able to evaluate ourselves how well and what we have so far. I want to be very clear that you can identify the scholarships from different places, including Facebook, including X, including LinkedIn, including the UG scholarships group, including websites, including seminars and conferences, including anywhere. That is okay. But we are very categorically clear that the first step, if you're looking for the scholarship, is Digest For Me app. So once you go there, you identify the scholarships which you have, and then we are able to come and say, what don't I have? You begin pursuing them. And once you have what they are asking for, and if you have whatever they are asking for, we now create an account in the system and you begin applying. So this ACCM scholarship matrix is majorly to help you prepare for the application process. And that's what I wanted to chat with you today. We have found this tool to be very useful. I have around 6 mentees who are lost from me. Why? They are addressing these gaps here, which they're addressing the requirements. Somebody begins the coaching and they do A, B, C, D, X, Y, Z, and they discover they don't have 70%. So they disappear from me to go and address this, address English language, address passport, address this, address the other, which is okay. For us, that is very good. If you can step back and address what you don't have, for us, that is very good. Something we want to emphasize is that if we know you are targeting a Chevening scholarship, which is focusing on leadership, if you want to be known as a leader and you have not taken any action through this matrix, you begin taking action now. We are in July. If you're saying that you're a leader, you want to demonstrate that you're a leader, but maybe you want to say you are a leader in climate change, but you've never planted any tree, you've never got a YouTube account teaching people how to plant trees, you've never saved any river or any Mavira forest, for example, for Ugandan case, yet you want to use that as a reason to show that you are a leader. After doing this and understanding that Chevening is after leaders, you now go back and begin creating that impact and begin profiling them and begin putting them on your social media handles and begin updating your LinkedIn status and begin writing newspaper articles under Daily Monitor, New Vision, and you begin publishing your research work because you know one of the things they want is at least a written sample or a writing sample. So you need to say, you know what? They are going to ask me for the written sample. Let me go and write a newspaper article and I publish it. For us, we have seen that happen to our clients, and we are very happy that this tool helps you to step back and see how ready you are or how ready you are not, and you go and take action. We are very happy about it. And that is the main aim why we came up with this template or this tool. And that is it. And that is the main point I wanted to chat with you in today's session.